Before each candidate starts, I'm going to give a brief biography, and I've got to rustle these around and find the right one. Next up, I'd like to introduce Warren Slater. And we got each candidate to provide a brief biography. Warren describes himself as 61 years young, a good, no-nonsense Kiwi bloke, who's been married to Pat for 42 years and a certain number of months, days, hours and minutes, loving every second of it. And he's obviously a family-oriented sort of guy. He and his wife have a much-loved daughter and a great son-in-law and an awesome grandson. Warren's mission is to work with others in his community to make a difference. Please welcome Warren Slater.
Good evening, I'm Warren Slater and I stand before you willing to work with you for the next 3 years. October the 12th this year is an important time for the future of Whangarei. I've been asked for my vision for Whangarei, and I believe any projects for Whangarei must have input and approval from the community at large for projects to unfold. We must ensure democracy prevails by insisting that every policy, project and action of Council complies with the spirit and the letter of the Acts before us. Democracy is a word, but it also requires action. I'd like to have Council meetings webcast and have genuine public forums where constituents can have issues addressed. If you don't know, you can't fix it. On election, I will immediately take steps necessary to have Council finances forensically audited to reveal the nature and extent of Council's debt burden, its exposure to future interest rate increases and the implications of arrears of maintenance of Council roads, footpaths, services and property. Many agree we are unsure of our real debt. Council must work with all agencies and groups to address social issues and crime in Whangarei. The community must own it and work together on the issues of graffiti, truancy, bullying, suicide, drugs, etc. and assist these groups on the fine work they do and support them by showing it's not okay. I trust elected councillors support these ideals. The next 3 years is about what you want. By attending council meetings since 2006, we have experienced a variety of styles, some great, some good and some appalling. I believe everyone deserves to be treated fairly, honestly and with respect. The people in our society pay the bills. Yes, they pay for the mayor, councillors and staff at council. My website evolved to keep people informed about council meetings and letters to the media. Facebook is a tool where we have networked through our groups and gathered opinions from many in the community. We have used LinkedIn for connecting with many professionals and in 2012 awarded as one of the top 5% extensively endorsed sites viewed that year. I think it is time we're a tad smarter. We have a diabetes centre in Manu with no footpath outside. Many with diabetes have mobility issues. We have intersection improvements with pathways too narrow for disability access and cycleways that are narrow on highways and become a safety issue but allowing for vegetation to have more control. We have seen signs that we need not to be seeing. Our processes should be open and transparent, no deals behind closed doors, and most importantly, be initiated by the community, with input from our many varied sectors throughout the complete processes until they are finished to a satisfactory level. There should be nothing about us without us. Huntavasa. Do I want it? It's whether the majority want it. I'm not personally against the project, but believe it need not be funded by ratepayers. I understand a group is raising funds, so maybe when the funds are in, they should buy the property, fund it, run it, reap any profits and suffer any losses. Ratepayers tell me they do not want it or the ongoing expenses for this project. Love a clean public toilet. Many use those large fast food outlets when tripping around. How about Whangarei's tourist route being famous for the cleanest and best serviced restrooms in New Zealand? We have the scenic spots for them. It's an idea. They could have attendants present and be adjacent to information centres. With a bit of paperwork, it's something to go on. Whangarei has a wonderful panoramic views from the top of our high peaks. Many people are of similar opinion to ours. The sights from Mount Parahaka are fantastic, looking over the town and harbour. With a vision and the will to do it, this feature could be made so much more accessible and breathtaking with a trip up there and back on gondolas. A multi-purpose civic centre for our performing arts has been a plan in the making for over 37 years to provide facilities for concerts, plays, musicals, orchestras and ballet, to name a few. I believe it's time to cater to that sector of the community and build the auditorium within 8 years as per the long-term plan. It would then be 45 years of waiting. There was talk of a university or language school at One Tree Point. As your mayor, I would love to work with those willing to build such a complex. Council should encourage such a facility, as these types of institutions are in demand, and the rewards to a community with people arriving to learn new skills creates positive stimulus, employment and much needed spending in our community. Yes, I am Slater, but I have not just crawled out from under a log 8 weeks out from an election in the hope of getting a job. I've been interested enough for the long haul, attending over 377 meetings since 2006. I've taken an active interest and have been bold enough to help those less fortunate by speaking out. So I believe I am unique, passionate and ready to serve you. Whangarei has so much to offer. Our magnificent scenery, beautiful landscapes, Limestone Island, our harbour and its many beaches, street activities, museum attractions, many national and international sporting competitions, international car rallies, all-weather horse racing track, paintball, golf courses, you name it, we've got it all. It's all here for the picking. But wait, there's more. There's an aquatic centre, lunchtime concerts and exhibitions in the old library, walkways, quarry gardens, growers market, the world-renowned Packard and Pioneer Museum, cycleways, up-to-the-date public library, artisans' fair, numerous concerts, art displays and the Whangarei people. Don't you just love it here? A little history. My grandfather, Harry Crozier from Scotland, was wounded at Gallipoli and learnt the art of Maori carving for occupational therapy. Today, I have a piece of his work with me, and that is local culture. We care for my 93-year-old mother. My wife Patricia is supportive and shares these visions for Whangarei. Let's hope this also confirms any myths. I do have parents. The election is about you. Consider your options. Do you want the same as you have? If the answer is no, then considering existing or previous councillors may be a mistake. If you believe a change is needed, that option is available. I am prepared to make that change and the hard decisions when they are raised for an open, transparent and inclusive council. There is a plan. Once elected, I will guide a new team of councillors insisting on a user-friendly council to encourage investment into our town. We all must understand our infrastructure and focus on prudent financial management to prioritise needs while making decisions to represent everyone fairly, working with community input to face any challenges. This is not a solo journey, and all sectors need to be represented fairly. If this sounds like what you believe is good for Whangarei, then please spread the word. It is your opportunity to select a mayor that will represent your community into the future. If you don't like what I advocate, then when speaking about it to others, at least mention Warren Slater. Thanks for your time and drive home safely. Oh, yes, and I forgot, the America's Cup at Marsden Cove.